Hello. All right, y'all. Decided to film episode 0 tonight. And as usual, my name's Nina, and I am your host of Candid and Curious. And so I wanted to do an episode 0 right in the middle of the podcast because I wanted to kind of just one on one talk to y'all about what is Candid and Curious and why was it created. So this podcast has been in the making for a long time, a really long time. And I wanted to start a podcast because, first of all, my career has just taken me in a direction where this was, and I still believe that it was inevitable. For some of y'all that have been following me for a little while, you know that I have been in media for about a dozen years. I started off as a photographer, grew that into videography, transitioned into content creation, segued that into marketing for small businesses. And now I do full-time media for a very large nonprofit here in San Antonio, Texas. So when I decided I wanted to do a podcast, it was a really easy decision to make. And it was the right one. And I love it, right? This experience has been new and interesting. And so I wanted to just sit down with y'all. No producer. Chivy's not here. I'm in my living room, just here in my favorite hoodie, hanging out with you guys and just being candid and raw and, unfiltered and one take and just hanging out. So honestly, I wanted the original concept of Candid and Curious was to interview creatives. I am a creative. I'm an artist. I've been an artist for a long time. I am obsessed with the creative process. And so the idea of interviewing artists and talking to them about their process and what they do and why they do it and who they are, and just getting to the root and the core of why, right? Why they started, what they do was really intriguing to me. And so I started working on that. I tossed around a couple of names. I had a logo going, and I started to really broadcast and tell people on my social media channels, hey, like I'm going to start a podcast. I'm thinking about doing this. This is something that I've been wanting to do for a long time. Who's with me? And the response I got was pretty significant. But one thing that I noticed, and one thing that continues to be a trend, at least in my space, is that there were many people who were interested, not just creatives. I know a ton of creatives. I love working with creatives, but there have been so many incredible people that I have met in this city that are doing so many incredible things. And they wanted to talk to me. And they were like, hey, I've got a story to tell. I'm doing this innovative thing. I'm starting a new venture, or I've been doing this for a really long time and I'd love to tell you my story. I got so many responses of people wanting to talk to me that weren't just creatives, that I decided to just take that moment and take that opportunity and all of these amazing people that were coming forward and just pivot. So I took some time. And I think there was a little confusion of, man, like she said, she was going to start a podcast. I took some time to really think about what I wanted to do, because then suddenly it felt like I needed to create something else. I needed to take that original concept and turn it into something else, because it's not just creatives that are doing innovative and incredible work. There's so many people out there that have an incredible story to tell. So what I will say, and what I know and believe in my heart, is that my divine gift is communication and being able to connect with people and help them tell their story. And over the years, through the development of my career, it's just been the common denominator. Being able to help people tell their story is something that I was just destined to do. If you believe in destiny, if you believe in fate, it is definitely something that I take very seriously, and I want to give that back, right? I want to give that back to the world, and I want people to feel like they can sit down with me and tell that story and be honest and be candid and always lead with curiosity and an exploration. So I just wanted to explore that a little more. So Candid and Curious was born out of, for one, a lot of like my personality, right? So I've been interviewing people for a few years now and gathering testimonials. I talk to people all the time, and it is such an interesting thing for me to do because I learn so much about humanity, about what it is to be human, just by talking to you, just by learning about you and what you do and what makes you tick and what makes you uniquely you. And I love that. And everyone has a story to tell. All anyone wants, and this is just my personal belief, all anyone wants is to be heard. So let's do that. I didn't want to limit myself for now. I wanted to make it a little more broad of let's tell your story and let's just sit down and have these really intriguing and engaging conversations. And it's meant for people to learn. It's meant for people to, to stimulate, right, and create ideas and foster new ideas and all of that. And that's where I'm coming from. So yes, a lot of it is I want to sit down with you and help you tell a story in any way, right? Podcasting is one avenue. I've done this for years, and through my career as it's developed, so have those different avenues of storytelling, right? So you may want to tell your story with beautiful and engaging photography. Awesome. Maybe you want to do a video. Amazing. And now adding podcasting into this mix has really, it was such a natural progression of things. So it's been a fun adventure, and season 1, if you haven't checked it out yet, please do. There's a little bit of something for everybody. We've had so many amazing guests on. All of the guests have been incredible for season 1. And right now there's 6 episodes out. This is episode 0. And after this, we'll have another 6 before the season wraps up. And we're already working on some really cool stuff for season 2, which you will learn about later, not today. But it's just such an exciting time. So yeah, so check it out. And if you have an idea, or if you want to be on the podcast, or you're doing something innovative, or you've created something, or you're a seasoned veteran at something that you do, I'd love to talk to you. So yeah, but it's been a really cool, wild ride so far. And if you've got the time, you're on a drive, you're doing the dishes, that's when I listen to the podcast, to podcasts, is when I'm driving or doing chores. You can find it on all streaming platforms. If the visual part for you is where it's at, YouTube and Spotify. That's my favorite, right? Is when I can actually see. So yeah, so it's been incredible so far, and just thank you to everyone who's listened, who's commented, who's engaged, who's shared, um, because the people that are on who are sharing these stories need to be heard. And every time you share, every time you like, comment, send an episode to somebody, it helps spread the word about what these incredible humans are doing. And that's what this is all about for me, right? It is about helping people tell their story. And, like, we've got season 2 in the works. I've got a plan for season 3, and I'm really excited to kind of see how this evolves. I think that eventually it may become a little more niche, but I don't know. And that's the really exciting part for me, is that this could really, it could be anything. It could turn into something else, or it could stay, or we may run a few seasons and decide that that was it. I have no idea. I'm just having a blast doing it. I'm having a great time talking to you guys, engaging, just having these incredible and really important conversations, because we have a little bit of something for everyone. So thank you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for just everything. And stay tuned, because we've got some really cool stuff going. But if you haven't listened, take some time. We've got really incredible guests. Every single guest for season 1 was phenomenal for me. I'm super excited for all of the incredible things that Chibi and I have planned for season 2. And yeah, so thanks again. I can't wait to see what's next, because we're on this wild ride together. But yeah, I hope y'all have a good night, and I will see you later.